Then on Sports Central, we go over a college football game preview and prediction on the Week 1 matchup between the Boise State Broncos and the Washington Huskies. Two teams that have got very high expectations heading into the season, rightfully so. These two teams are built to win right now. Boise State is a team that's going to be experienced in 2023, all around a really solid team. Wouldn't be surprised one bit if they won the Mountain West, and they're taking on Washington, a team that offensively could be one of the best teams in the country. It's just about the defense. Can defensively this team put it together? And if so, we could see the Huskies in the college football playoff this season. So, significant matchup for both teams here. We'll be going over a full game preview and prediction on this matchup here today. Let's get started. This matchup being on Saturday in Seattle, and it's an early kickoff here. 12:30 p.m. Pacific is your kickoff time here. Spread's going Washington by about 2 touchdowns, which, considering the Huskies' offense, that really doesn't surprise me too much. Although I do think Boise State is built to compete up against Washington right now. It's going to be tough for Boise State to win this matchup. That's no secret. You consider Washington and the experience and the talent on that team right now. It's going to be tough for the Broncos, but it's still doable. I think Boise State is a team not to be underestimated. I know they're not ranked or anything, but this is a team that very well could be in a few weeks from now. Over-under is 59. The FPI is going with the Huskies as well, right around 75%. We've seen these two teams play each other 5 times in the past. The last game was in 2019, where the Huskies dominated. They beat the Broncos 38-7 in that matchup a couple of years ago. Your stat comparison for this one: Boise State last season was a very strong team defensively, 14th in the country in points allowed. They're 4th in pass defense, which for Boise State, gonna need to be strong against the pass if you're taking on Washington, and that's going to be a crucial area. Washington last season was the top team in the country in pass yards a game when you got Michael Penix and the receiving core this team has. Last season with Jalen McMillan, Rome Odunze, Jalen Polk. This is a team that is stacked with receivers, and really, with having McMillan and Odunze back, that is going to be, this is going to be one of the best receiving cores in the country. So it's going to be tough for this team, but this is a team that's built to compete up next to Washington defensively, so that's definitely a good thing. But passing game last season for the Broncos, not very good, 108th, but the rushing game pretty good, being 16th in the country. As for the Huskies, this team was 65th in points allowed, so defensively kind of middle of the road. They were poor in the pass defense, and they were 28th in rush defense last season. So against the rush, pretty good. Against the pass, not quite as much. But offensively, once again, this is one of the best offenses in the country, 8th in the nation in points per game, and obviously the top pass offense in the country. Your key points for this one: Boise State 10-4 last year. This is a team with great potential to win the Mountain West. I think the Mountain West is it's a pretty wide open conference, but I think Boise State, with the experience this team has, I like this team's odds of winning the conference this season. Taylon Green coming back, and if he's improved this season, this is an offense that really has got a lot of potential for sure, and a lot of upside. George Halani coming back for the running, or for the backfield. So I like Boise State offensively. I think this is a team that should be improved on offense, and defensively last season pretty good. If they can maintain that, Broncos definitely a team to keep an eye on. But this is a team that could be a threat here. For the Huskies, do not want to sleep on Boise State here. Once again, this is a team that can kind of fly under the radar a little bit right now, being unranked and everything. But this was still a 10-win team last season, and the way this team is looking, this is a team very much that could compete right up next to Washington right now. So if you're the Huskies, do not want to sleep on this one. And otherwise, offensively, this is a team that is stacked. All around, the depth is incredible. Michael Penix, who really broke out last season, had a great season. If you can maintain that, Michael Penix is very much a Heisman contender in 2023. So offensively, this team will be brutal. It's just defensively. Can this team put it together defensively? That was kind of USC's issue last season as well. Their offense was incredible. Their defense, not so much. And it's kind of the same story for Washington. I think for USC, if their defense can improve, they could very well be a big national contender. In Washington, same case. This defense was okay last season. It wasn't great, and you definitely Got to be great if you want to make it to a 4-team college football playoff. So this team should definitely be in the college football playoff contention, though. Still a team to very much keep an eye on as we look forward to 2023. And with that, let's get to the prediction here for this Week 1 matchup. Boise State and Washington, definitely one of the best games of the early window, I would say. And with that, I got to take the Huskies here. My final score being 34-23. I think Boise State puts up a fight here. And this is a game that could come down to the fourth quarter. I really would not be surprised one bit. Boise State is built to compete up next to the Huskies, and I do think Boise State covers the spread. But in the end, Washington's offense finds a way. They score a couple of touchdowns in the fourth quarter late sometime in this matchup, and they escape the Broncos. But I do think Boise State puts up a fight here. I'm taking the Huskies 60%, and I'm also taking the under for this game. I think we see... both offenses should be pretty good, but I do think we see more of a moderate scoring game here in Boise State covering the spread in the end. But yeah, definitely keep an eye on this one. This is probably one of the sneaky good games of Week 1 coming up here. And with that, I appreciate you guys all watching as always. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. Catch you on the next one.